Saturday night. All right, let's see if we get some screen time here and some ears on, and we'll go forward. I seem to be a little close to the screen tonight, but that's because I got computers in front of me. They're behind the camera. So let's see if y'all can see me and hear me. Here comes my computer. All right, I can see me. And all right, so I'm seeing 5x5s, multiples. Trying to look around. That's all, guys. Okay. I'm going to start with something here, seeing as how we've got a good amount of you here, hopefully. Interesting how we just had 1,200 waiting and now we have 750 watching. No, there we go. Okay, numbers are going back up. All right. So I got a extremely rude, obnoxious email today from a now former subscriber who apparently was a subscriber for at least 7 months. And y'all know me, I'm not going to put up with any of that crap. Okay. Supposedly, either on my channel or one of two others he mentioned, there was an ad that he bought something from and had got scammed out of $100. Okay. And all three all three channels were based in the US. And this person was not. And so proceeded to bitch at me that it was our fault that we aren't protecting people from the ads that YouTube puts up. And basically insinuating that I owed him the money that he got scammed out of. And that I should do something about this. Now, I'm going to explain a couple of things here real quick, guys, just so everybody understands this. I don't do affiliate links for a real good reason. Because if something goes wrong, I don't want it coming back on me. Hence the reason when I do a review, I actually review the product. I don't just take somebody's word. And I can't tell you how many times companies have said, oh, review my product. And I take a look at it. I had one just a couple of weeks ago. Review our solar generator. It was half the power and twice the price of everything else I talk about. And I told them to get bent. Please understand this. The content creators do not have any control whatsoever over the ads on YouTube. If we take the ads off of a video, YouTube just puts them back on. I don't control who they put on. You guys who've watched me long enough have seen enough ads on here for Chuck Schumer or something like that. Does anybody who knows me at all think I'd ever support anything that Chuck Schumer said? Okay. We have no control over the ads. You know, the other thing I'll say is if you're going to go buy something online, it might behoove everybody to go check the reviews because there's a lot of scam stuff online, right? But to bring it up and say that it's our fault, mine and these other two channels, because we allowed those ads on our channels, somebody's smoking crack. Okay. Basically, after trying to be polite once and getting my ass chewed a second time for it, I told him that he can stick it where the sun don't shine. If he's watching, good for you. I stick by what I said. Go fuck yourself. Okay. So that'll be that. Sorry to start this off on a cold note tonight, but that was kind of important. That's been sticking at me for about the last 4 hours here. Not exactly making me a happy camper with all of this, but hopefully you guys can change my mood a little bit tonight. As for what's going on in the world today, I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention other than this chemical fire that's going on down near Miami-Dade County. That's been burning for a couple of days right now on one of these recycled trash and turn it into energy type places. And of course, they are in a close your windows, wear a mask, that all sorts of stuff they're saying. The latest I've heard, and if this has changed in the last couple hours, I don't know, but that was all because of a conveyor belt fire. That's the preliminary cause. So we'll see what happens. So, as for what's going on in the world today, I really didn't pay attention. I got out and did my work around here that I had to do today. And this guy pissed me off around 4 o'clock. And so Mrs. P and I decided we were going to sit down and watch a movie. And of all movies she wanted to watch The Deer Hunter. So that's what we've been watching for the last 3 hours. So no, I haven't paid attention to world events today. So if anybody's got any recent questions on them, I can't give you an answer tonight because, guys, there are some times that all of us need to step away from the world, and I'm one of all of us. And sometimes it's just like, I ain't dealing with this anymore. I need to walk away and just chill out for a little bit. So please bear with me on something like that. We'll go from there. So, all right. Other than that, if anybody's still here, happy Saturday. It's good to see you, believe it or not. I've kind of been anxious for this one because this is a important live stream for me because I really am hoping that we can help somebody tonight who really truly needs it here. Whether it's Oklahoma, which that one keeps getting worse. The stories, the tank was empty until the tank wasn't empty, or New Palestine, Ohio, or now Miami-Dade, or whatever. Who knows what tomorrow will bring, right? Yeah, so we'll see. But in the interest of everything, let's get these giveaways started here at the beginning. I know a lot of you guys watch on your phones or whatever until the giveaway is done and then bounce over to the TV or something like that. So the interest of making it a little easier for you, and so I can actually see the comments because the computer is going to sit behind the camera right now, which makes it a little harder for me to see without doing one of these. Let's get into this. So, all right. First one we're going to do tonight is the Delta Mini. Okay, that is the solar generator. This comes, and I was mistaken. Elliot corrected me. I posted a correction on the email. It comes with a 110 watt solar panel, not 160. So please understand I made that mistake in there. If you bought one of those, that's what it would be. I think the customer service would have probably told you as much. But for this one, again, I'm going to remind everybody, you had to live in the contiguous 48, and to have a valid entry to the contest, you had to have your state in which you live in and your favorite cheese on this one. If they do not have both of those in there, it is not a valid entry. Therefore, you do not win. Okay, we've had that happen before too, and I apologize, but you got to follow instructions. What I will ask everybody, and I ask this all the time, is please, when we go draw the winners, please stop commenting. Don't try to say, oh, it's me or something like that. There's over 3,000 of you guys in here right now, and the moderators and I are trying to look for that one person's name to say they're here because they get 3 minutes. That's it. Okay. We don't want to miss that person's name. You wouldn't want us to miss your name if you were called. So please do not comment once I draw the names. Let that person have carte blanche to the chat room at that point so we can get the prizes to the people. Okay. All right. So let's get my computer over to this, and we will flip the screen over, and then I will blow this up. Well, I guess I don't need to. It looks like you guys can see that. Okay, looks good there. All right, so up here on the right-hand side where my mouse is, we've got the link from that video. We are not including replies to comments. They've changed that. Okay. And we are taking out duplicate users. They've moved the stuff around on me. So everybody gets one entry. It says 5 plus 8. So I will do my little math and we will see how many comments we get here. And with 3,000 of you guys in here, I'm assuming we're going to get probably somewhere around 3,000 comments. So 1,500 already. Let's see what we got. 28, 9, 2,857 comments. Okay. And we are going to move down here so y'all can see this. I'm going to click start. We are going to draw our winner now. So please stop all comments. Guys, please hold all the comments. Okay, I'll just sit here and wait until you guys stop commenting. Guys, I'm not going to draw until the comments stop. So. Okay, looks like the comments have finally stopped. Thank you. All right, here we go. First name drawn. Pam in Texas. That's covered. Believe it or not, I love to cook most with Parmigiano Reggiano. That is a valid entry. So, Pam, you have until 9:13 to reply that you are here. So let us find Pam, and I've got to get to the computer. Mods, I'm going to need you to help me watch for him. Looking for Pam. Pam in Texas. Just the name Pam was our winner. So we'll wait till 9:13, see if Pam is here. I'm going to look real quick in the participants. And I'm going to see if Pam is here tonight. Pam is in the chat, so that's a good thing. So let's get back. All right. Hang on, I had to refresh the page. Waiting for it to come up. I see a bunch of you guys say she's here, so let me just scroll back up. There it is. Pam, hi Pinball, I'm Pam and I am here. Okay. Pam, congratulations. You are the winner of a EcoFlow Delta Mini. What I will need you to do this evening or tomorrow morning, either way, is email me at pinballpreparedness@protonmail.com. It's in the description of the video here. I need your name, your mailing address, physical address. Can't be a post office because Elliot sends it from FedEx. So I need name, address, and phone number. I will get those over to him on Monday, and he usually gets stuff out midweek. So by the end of the week, you should have a Delta Mini sitting in your living room. So congratulations on that one. And we will move on. Okay, so let's go to the other video and the other one. Let me do what I need to do on my end first. And okay, so let's flip the screen over again. Now we are going to go for the water purifier. This one, again, you had to be either in the US, any of the 50 states, or in Canada. This one is being shipped by me, so I have the ability to do that. You had to name where you live and your favorite bird. I said springtime bird, but I saw everything from chickens to eagles to God knows what. So I'll take a bird, whatever would be, except for this one. So, all right, let's flip this over. And this time I got to blow up the screen. Okay. All right, so you guys can see what's going on there. I have put the video link in. We are filtering duplicate users. I've got to do my little math problem again, and we're going to see how many comments we have on that video. So let's chug along here. Waiting. There's 2,000. Still chugging along. What do we got for this one? 2,494. All right, I guess not as many people wanted a water purifier as a generator. That's fine with me. Okay, so same thing again, guys. Please hold all comments, and we will draw a winner for this. All right, here we go. Harbor Prepper. Here in New York, we may certainly be in the path of any acid rain that comes from this event, so this would be a great asset. As for birds, my favorite is the red-winged blackbird. Keep up the good work. Valid entry. So let's flip all this stuff over again. And let's look for Harbor Prepper. If you are in the house, you have until 9:17 to tell us that you are here. And I will get me down to the bottom if I can. There we go. So we are looking for Harbor Prepper, guys. All right. I'll take it back. You got till 9:18. It just ticked. Okay. Harbor Prepper. There you are here. All right. That was quick. Perfect. Harbor Prepper, I will need you to send me your mailing address. Again, physical address. I will send it UPS, which means it'll go out Monday or Tuesday because UPS doesn't pick up on Sundays, and they don't pick up after 10 o'clock on Saturdays either. So please email me your name and address tonight or tomorrow, and I will get that out to you first of the week. All right, congratulations to everybody on all of that. Let me get myself resituated here so I can see what we're doing. We'll get on to the regularly scheduled programming. All right, so I'm back. That's close enough to good enough. All right, so for all those of you that are new here, you saw that part of it. We'll watch how many people drop off the live stream. Some you can go to your TV. Some I know are just here to see if they can win something. They miss out. The best part is what we all talk about. So if you are new here, welcome. There's been a lot of people that have joined the channel since I have come back from the strike. There's been about 1,000 people that have subscribed to the channel in the last week. So I want to say welcome to all of them. If this is your first time here, what we do on Tuesdays and Saturdays is it's all live Q&A. This is a chance for you guys to ask me what you want to talk about. Most of the time I'll have a answer. You may not like it, I'll tell you that, okay? But I will have a answer, especially if you ask for my opinion. You're going to get my opinion. If I don't have the answer, though, guys, please watch the comments because somebody in here inevitably does, all right? I mean, trust me, I don't profess to know everything, not even close. You know, you're going to start asking me how to raise pigs or something like that. I'm not the person. But somebody in here knows how to do it and can answer your questions. And maybe you guys can connect and get questions answered or whatever, whole 9 yards there. That's what freesteading is really good for, where you guys can connect together between the two of you in private chat, and that way, you know, you're not announcing to the world everything that's going on. So if you have questions for me, please put them in all caps, just like every other YouTube channel. There's 2,700 of you in here now, and there's one of me, so it makes it a little easier for me to see if everything's in caps. So that's that part. In the chat, guys, please keep it PG-13. Okay, you know, we don't need there's enough channels out there that, you know, are just nasty to sit there and read the comments and stuff. I don't put up with that here. Every once in a while, something will slip out of my mouth. Sometimes it's on purpose. But, you know, like I've said many times, your teenagers heard anything that's going to come out of my mouth. Your 6-year-old probably shouldn't be in the room. The only requirement I have, and kind of what I've talked about at the top, okay, everybody, it is a absolute requirement. You treat everybody in the chat, including me, with respect. Disagreement is totally fine. If you want to be an ass, go somewhere else. You will not have a second chance. I'm sorry. You had a bad day, you know, engage brain before putting fingers in gear. Simple as that, okay? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all, because I won't put up with it. You won't be back. Just saying. That's how we keep the garbage out of here. We keep the trash out of here. We keep the trolls out of here. And I think over the course of nearly 3 years now, we've built a pretty good community here where everybody is very respectful of each other, and I'd like to keep it that way. So, that being said, let's see what's on your guys' mind, and we will go from there. So I will go up as far to the top as I can, which is all the congratulations for Harbor Prepper. And let's get on down a little bit here. Okay. Shannon Cook says no mail on Monday. Okay, that's fine. I use UPS anyway. So I'm not going to worry about that. Nomad 22, what brand of weed barrier do I use on my gardens? You would ask me that. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I gotta look. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. It is Happy Buy. And if you guys want, I will copy. I will put the link to exactly the one I have in the chat. So I just dropped that in there right now. So if you're looking at that Amazon link, that's for that weed barrier. Okay. Jennifer Sutter, did my goji berry plants make it in the pots? Yes, this is interesting. So we try this. Goji berries are perennials. Okay, so we left half out over the winter, half of them outside, and we brought half of them inside. Both of them made it. The ones outside are already budding. The ones inside already have a few leaves on it. So yes, everything made it. They are looking good, and we will hopefully get the yard worked on here in the next 6 weeks and be able to start planting some of that stuff. So yes, but they all made it in the pots. Okay. Who was the author of the book I recommended, Patriots? It's, God, was it James Wesley Rawls? So yeah, Rawles, if I believe that's how it's spelled. So excellent book. I still like 1 Second After better for the story, but Patriots is an excellent book in itself, and so is that whole series. So that's another series that you guys can go through. The difference between Patriots is you got to keep about 4 different stories going on in your mind at the same time. So, little thinking's got to go with that one. Let's see. Never too old to learn. How do you hook up how to do a hookup of 3 12C van 120 watt solar panels? Okay, first off, you got to make sure that the generator that you have can handle 360 watts. Okay, like the Mini cannot handle that much. But I have mentioned many times the Y connectors that I use for it. And if I can, this might take me a second, but I will take a look and see if I can find it. Oh crap, that wasn't the way to do it. Hang on. There they are. What do you know? Okay, bear with me. These are cheap. They're $8. And let me get back to it. And there's a link to those, so you can go get those if you want the connector, so you can hook up multiple solar panels to an EcoFlow generator. And I say EcoFlow, it's not only an EcoFlow. Anything that uses an MC4 connector, those will work. All right. If you use a different kind of connector, you're going to have to find a different kind of Y cable. Okay. PK, do you ferment anything like sauerkraut or kimchi? Obviously, you're relatively new. You haven't seen my sauerkraut video. Yes, we make a boatload of sauerkraut. And Mrs. P also makes some kimchi, but usually the kimchi we make fresh. And we can the sauerkraut. I mean, I'm eating, what was it, the other night we had sauerkraut I canned in April of 2020. So, yeah, doing fine. Not a problem there. Yes, she's Russian. I'm Polish. There's a lot of cabbage in our diets. Let's see. Lisa Smith, is there a specific gas mask that you recommend? The best ones I can find, you're going to find from a company called Mira Safety. It's MIRA. Now, there's 2 different kinds that you can get. and one is going to have a full face shield, and one is going to have like the bug eyes. All right. Depending on what you are going to do, if you're going to use it with a rifle or something, the bug eye ones are going to be better. If you're not going to be one of the, let's put it this way, on guard duty, the full face shield might be a better idea. Okay, but the stuff on mirror safety is probably the best out there. What's a good spring lettuce to grow in Florida? I don't know. I've never lived in Florida, so I'm not going to be able to give you an answer to that one. So, you know, again, when you're talking, you got to grow what you're going to like to eat. Personally, for me, I hate romaine lettuce. I think it tastes like dirt. Okay, I don't grow it. Okay, but some of the cut and come again lettuces, like the ones I've got that I planted earlier this year that I'm doing a test in the garage, those things are huge. This spring, when I get stuff done outside, that's going to be iceberg head lettuce, because that's the kind of stuff that I like. You gotta find what you like and then figure out how to grow it. Okay. I like bananas. I'm not going to figure out how to grow bananas here. That's not going to happen. So you got to do it realistically. But as for a specific type of lettuce, A, I can't tell you in Florida, and B, I don't know what you like. So, big difference. Healthy disrespect for authority. Since I brought up movies, has Mrs. P seen Gone with the Wind? Yes, I know she has, because we actually watched it together, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. It was a rainy Sunday afternoon, and we turned on Gone with the Wind. So that was it. I like the older movies. The new stuff is all crap. Okay. I don't care about superhero movies. Doesn't do anything. I want a good story behind a movie. And personally, CGI bores the hell out of me. Okay. Show me a good. I remember the old movies. The old movies. Okay. And you could tell that they were sitting on a sound stage in a car driving along, because it looked totally different in the background. That was more interesting in movie making to me than the CGI stuff right now, where the guy's actually sitting on a folding chair and they just put the whole car around him. Okay. It looks more realistic in CGI, but there's no effort to it. I could care less if a computer programmer made a movie. Okay, show me some actors with talent. We haven't had any of that in 20 years either, but that's another point. So, Custom Carl, does this water purifier work with brackish salt water? I live in a canal. They specifically say on the website that it is not recommended for salt water. So, no, not at all. Susan Lathrop, favorite tomatoes to make and can for sauce. You guys know what we grew last year. It was Sukarni Podovchuks, Black Crims, and Siberian Earlies, and we sauced them all. They're not paste tomatoes, but they were great for making salsa, great for making spaghetti sauce, everything. So those were the ones that we grow. Depending on almost any tomato you can use for any of it. It just depends on how much of which has got more pulp. You're going to get more juice out of some tomato, more pulp out of other tomatoes. Again, you got to find what tastes and then manipulate it or grow however much you need to make sure it works. Okay. Those three work for us. Those three tomatoes all taste very different than the stuff that you're going to get in the store. Mind you, the ones in the tomatoes you get in the store don't have any taste, but like the black Krim tomatoes, those taste totally different than a tomato that you're used to. That's almost got like a smoky tomato taste, which is something that we like. Not everybody does. Rebecca Fritz, I watched Cooking with Mrs. P's videos. Hope she does more. One of these days we'll make the pelmeni video. Every time my daughter's here is when we make pelmeni, and we probably do it twice a year because it takes about 4 hours to make enough for dinner. that would be one. And then I want her to do this, the akroshka, which is a summer soup, which is absolutely delicious. It's a cold lemon soup, which is really cold lemon vegetable soup. It's really good. Uh, but I mean, other than that, there aren't a whole lot of traditional type meals. That's, I mean, we've done the fish soup, we've done the borscht, we've done the stroganoff. I mean, you got to remember again, a lot of the meals that she grew up with, because she was there, for 15 years as under the Soviet Union, are very simple meals, and it's not like she's got meals for caviar and all this sort of stuff, but uh, if there's something of interest that we come up with sometimes, and those cooking videos take a long time to make, uh, we'll do it, but they're few and far between, as you guys can tell. Ancient Dupree, new to raising rabbits. What can I do with the urine? Well, I'm hoping that you've got bedding for the rabbits, and I would take all that urine and you can throw that right in the compost pile, or you can, with the rabbits, you can throw that straight into the garden as well. So, but yeah, if you got it, if it's just the liquid urine, I'd say dumping it either way. Dump it either in the garden or in the compost pile. If you've got it mixed with bedding, throw that in the compost pile. Let those wood shavings go too. Prayer. Now I'll figure out how to read it with spaces. Prayerful Leah. I think I've got it right here. Hi, Mr. P. What are your thoughts regarding Trump's visit to Palestine, Ohio next week? Isn't it amazing that a guy who isn't even in government at this point will go and make his presence known, and if anything, maybe put a smile on some people's faces and show that there is a little hope, as opposed to, Joe, who won't even acknowledge what's going on there. And when he finally did, it's like, oh, well, now we're not going to send any help. And then after all the uproar about FEMA not doing anything, they turned tail and said, oh, okay, FEMA will now go help. And then, of course, you got Pothole Pete here, trying to keep my language clean. There's something flashing out in my backyard, so I keep looking at. Oh, gee, I've got to deal with something like that, but I was worried about, white construction workers. There was a senator or whatever that said today, I think it was a state senator in Ohio, said Pete needs to resign. And that's the absolute truth. I mean, this guy has screwed up everything in the Department of Transportation. He hasn't done anything right. All he's doing is taking vacations on your dime. If there's any positive out of all his screw ups, he's pretty much eliminated himself from contention for 2024. So we're not going to have to listen to his mouth in the debates. So, because there's nobody in their right mind that would touch him with a 10-foot pole with how he's so far. Hot Rod Homestead, why don't I have chickens? They're not allowed here. Too close to the lake and runoff. I'm on the side of a hill running right down the lake. The lake is drinking water, and so can't be as close to the lake as I am and have chickens. So that's the reason I've got, okay? I don't make the rules. If the world goes to hell, I'll do whatever the hell I want. But right now, there's still laws that Linda Bopp, is the chemical mess going to get in my area? I don't know. I mean, this is it. I keep watching it just like everybody else does. I mean, the lake here is fed off of two rivers, the Clinch River and the Powell River, which come out of Virginia. So depending on how the water runs, depending on which way the wind blows, it could, it might not. I don't know. I'm not, as far as I know, I don't have any real connection to the Ohio River. So there's a possibility I'm safe there. Not sure. I'm watching just like you guys are. Cheryl Fedek, can old cans from beans or vegetables be used to start seeds? Sure, no problem. Uh, anything like that, obviously wash them out really well, just like anything else, wash them out with a couple of drops of bleach or whatever, clean anything that could possibly be in them. The only downside that you're going to have with cans like that is because they're not tapered, they're straight. It's going to be a little harder to get everything out of them when you go. Now, if you're using the cans, make sure you drill a few holes in the bottom so you got some drainage for them. But my suggestion would be is either use a slightly bigger can, which of course means soil, but when your seeds are there, you're going to have to transplant them. You're going to have to dig them out with a spoon. So it's just going to be a little harder to get them out because when you've got a tapered cup, obviously there's not as much dirt in the bottom. It's easier for it to come out. When they're straight, it's harder to get everything. Think about how difficult it is to get cranberries out of the cranberry sauce out of the can at Thanksgiving time. Okay, you're going to have the same problem with soil. Can be done, yes. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult to get your plants out. Oh my God, Captain Coral, there was a steel mill explosion 40 miles from New Palestine tonight. There's no way this is not some sort of domestic terrorism. There's just way too many things going on. I mean, we're having 2 incidents, 3 incidents a day right now going on, and I know everybody's a little more sensitive to what's going on. It's like, oh, something caught fire or whatever it was, or oh, there was a truck accident. Yeah, I get it. We're watching it. But now when you have steel mills and recycling factories and plant factories and all this sort of stuff, this is getting a little ridiculous. Lady Snickerdo, what happens with all the military personnel and resources if balkanization occurs? It's not, trust me, that's not going to be gee, okay, come Monday morning, we're 3 different countries. That's going to be a real mess for a real long time. I mean, you look at how long it took between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia. I mean, that's still a mess over there. I mean, and you're talking a country that was the size of a moderately sized state. Now take 50 times that. It's going to be a mess. You're talking about the military, NASA, money, I mean, just all sorts of different things. And it's not like the U.S. government's going to go, oh, Texas, you want to leave the United States? No problem. Keep all the tanks. It's not going to work that way. So I don't have an answer to that one. There's going to be a lot that's going to happen on that. And my guess is that's all going to happen with some sort of revolutionary slash civil war, which I still think is coming, unfortunately. Peace Hawk, am I planting sweet potatoes in straw again this year? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, absolutely I am. I've had great luck growing my sweet potatoes in straw, and I had crap luck growing them in soil. So I will continue doing what works because I want the food. So yes, I will be doing straw bales again. Dan Berger, how long do these deals for the Delta Mini and the Purifier last? Usually they're not more than about a week, guys. I mean, I can't tell you how long. I mean, somebody had emailed me yesterday that Idaho had sold out of the water filters. So I'm assuming they're getting more or something like that. But like with Elliott and the EcoFlow Mini, about a week. Don't figure this is going to last a month and a half or something like that. It's a deal now because they'll have something else that's a deal, in 2 weeks or whatever it would be. And it's not always something that interests us. I'm not going to be, hey, here's the new Roomba, electronic vacuum or something like that. That's not a proper tool. Okay, so I don't worry about stuff like that. PK, what are my thoughts on Nikki Haley running in 2024? Is she really doing it for the VP spot? Nikki Haley's a typical grifter. Okay, she is a rhino beyond belief. You got to remember, she has nothing. She is. I'm a conservative, my ass. Okay, Yeah, so was Hillary Clinton. She credits Hillary Clinton as one of her mentors. Uh, what was it? Up until last year, she was still requiring people to be taken care of that way, to go to any sort of speaking engagements she had. I think that was up in November. She had a speech and she was still requiring people to have the arm candy. Uh, Remember, she bashed Trump until Trump gave her the Secretary of State position. Then she was all sorts of pro-Trump, and then apparently she was trying to backstab Mike Pence because she wanted Trump to pull him off the ticket and put her on. I mean, she's just a conniving little witch. If she wound up getting the nomination, which I don't think she'll make it to the first primary, if she wound up getting the nomination, I'd write in Mickey Mouse. I mean, there's no way in the world I would vote for her. But you wanted my opinion. You got it. Sandra Delsignore. Hi, Pinball. Thank you for all your info you provide. Do you think a water purifier would work with brackish water? Okay, we already did this question. No, it won't. Jackie B, do I know of any water tester for well water? Pretty much what you're going to be testing primarily out of well water, again, notwithstanding what's going on in East Palestine, is for your hardness of water, your minerals and stuff like that. And there's countless ones. I mean, just go on Amazon and find water tester, and you're going to find it, but primarily you're going to find testing your pH and what minerals are in. Buy a zero water. It's got the tester right in with it. As for the testing for chemicals and stuff like that, that I do not know. Kelly Center, do I have an EMP shield for my house? No, I do not. Whoops. Shout to the bottom. Saffron's base efficiency. FEMA still won't be much help. Of course not. They'll show up. They'll make the token, hi, we were here. It's kind of like the Red Cross going down for, hurricanes. Oh, yeah, hi, we were here. Here's a couple of cases of water. Okay, we're back. Send us money. Send us money. Okay, the CEO's got a $2.7 million salary. What about this? Well, we took him a couple of cases of water. What else do you expect us to do? That's it. FEMA won't be much help. FEMA would have been help 2.5 weeks ago, when people were freaking out. Now, the reputation of federal government agencies is dog shit. So, hi, I'm from FEMA and I'm here to help. My answer would be, it's about time. Ken Harrison, I saw that, and all of a sudden other government officials go. Yeah, it was about it. All of a sudden Trump trumped them and said, I'm going to East Palestine. They're like, oh crap, we can't let Trump go and get all the good press out of that. We got to go too now. Just every day you see this and you go, these people in Washington are out for themselves, and they could care less that they're supposed to represent you and me. They don't care about us at all. We are on our own. And if East Palestine didn't show that to everybody in the country, that the government is not there to help you, that the government's just going to say, screw you, you're on your own, deal with it. We messed up, but it's your problem. If people didn't realize that this time, the rest of the brains have drained out their ears. Dennis, you daddy, do I think we are watching a play? No, I think we're watching a horror movie. Unless you're talking about the Biden presidency, then I think we're watching an episode of South Park. Think for yourself. What is the name of my seed starting trays? I have no idea. They're 2-inch plastic. There's a million companies that make seed starting trays. Just don't get ones that are the real cheap, flimsy plastic ones, and they'll last you, for a few years. You get the ones that are a little stiffer plastic. Big Kid 71. Trump has done things like this a whole lot longer than he's been in public office. Exactly. That's the thing. I mean, the man actually shows that he does care about people, which makes him completely different than anybody else in politics. Okay. The problem Trump has is, I mean, the biggest problem Trump has is he was still pushing the arm candy. Okay. After everybody started saying this ain't right, he was still pushing it. And that turned a lot of people off. And then this going back to this name calling crap again is that's going to piss off a whole lot of people. Because I mean, when he started, what was it? I mean, first you had Ron DeSanctimonious, and what was the one he was called? Meatball Ron the other day. And I'm like, dude, you are losing me fast. You know, I'll already tell you this. If both of them are on the primary, DeSantis will be the one that gets my vote over Trump. Okay. Just because Trump's pissed me off too much with some of this childish crap. The conservatives are starting to get sick of the childish shit. Phyllis B, I'm in Washington State Zone 6B. Will sweet potatoes grow good here? Should, fine. I'm in 6B too, so you shouldn't have any problem with them. Sweet Leaf, thoughts on the railway strike and all the derailments. I did 6 videos on the derailments this week. That should answer all the questions you need on that one. Midnight Man, what do you and Mrs. P eat the most of for a favorite meal? Oh my God. Chicken something. I mean, that's it. 101 ways to make chicken. So that would be about it. I mean, that's just what we eat a lot of. Monica Schaefer, container gardens or raised beds this year? For me, I do both. I have the same amount of raised beds. I will have more containers out this year than I did last year. So, yeah, I mean, the more I can plant, the better. The more I can grow, the better, because then if something fails, I'm not starving, okay? I mean, I plant different kinds of peppers, different kinds of tomatoes, different kinds of potatoes, different kinds of beans, whatever it would be. Because every year I have something that completely fails. And, you don't want to go, oh my God, I'm going to grow, all I'm growing is, potatoes and tomatoes this year. Wonderful. If your potato crop fails, you better love your tomatoes. D-Freak, O'Hare Airport's getting overrun by homeless every night. Yep. And what was it? Little Beetlejuice decided to take one of the old Kmart's and house like 800 people in it too, and stuff like that. I mean, this is what kills me. We're a sanctuary city. We're so good. Look at us. Okay, we're going to send you a bunch of Mexicans. What? We don't want people here. We can't do anything with it. You sent us 2,000 people in a month. What are we going to do? Texas is going, hold my beer. It's like, I'm getting that in a half an hour. So. Broken Dolly goes from 70 degrees to 22 back to 70s. My poor chickens are so confused. That's I've got snow on my roof from last night. Okay, not much, but there's a little bit of snow on the roof. It's supposed to be 76 here on Thursday. Nancy Lynn Campbell, how long for it to come down the Ohio River to the Louisville area? From some of what I've heard, it's already there. So seeing stories about birds dead in the parking lot, the Cincinnati water department or whatever already shut off. They did that this morning. I saw that it's already shut off the inflow from the Ohio River into the water purification plant in Cincinnati because they don't even want to try to purify that water and pump it through the Cincinnati area. So, yeah, it's already past Louisville. Billy Powell River has good smallmouth fishing. Oh yeah, smallies around here. I mean, because around me, we've got some serious limestone cliffs, and you get up against those cliffs, and you can hit some of those smallies too. Ken Harrison, Pinball, how's the pond doing? Will it treat the water? And if so, how? Okay, pond is, after that storm we got the other day, the pond is full, as basically as full as I can get it right now until I've got it's up that foot. Because we got probably 4 or 5 inches of rain the other day. And then with everything flowing in, we got about foot, 18 inches of water in the pond. So it's full until I can get that one spot, get some more dirt in there, get that taken care of. I talked to the guys at the co-op today. They still do not have the schedule for fish day, so I do not know about when I can put fish in. That should be coming up relatively soon. As for treating the pond, what I used for sealant on there, so that's done. With the fact that there's all the clay particles in the water, what I've got is some powdered gypsum. So I will be putting the powdered gypsum in the pond so it can adhere to the clay, sink that, and clear the water. So that's about it. But as for anything, the only other treatment that'll be in there will be an aerating pump once I get the electrician out to wire the garage and do all that. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that have to be done, but I'm not chemically treating or anything like that. The only thing that's going in there is gypsum to settle the clay. That's the clay particles. That's it. Wyoming Yeti, my mods are incredible. Yes, they are. And that's why they stick around here, because they are very reliable, very good, and I like them all. So they do a good job, and I count on them. Good qualities, moderator. Lucky Dame says the sounds or notifications on my cell phone. Sorry, I forgot to turn on the volume on my cell phone. I apologize. Yeah, that's people sending me emails and stuff like that. My bad. I was listening to music when I was out working in the garage today. I forgot to turn down the phone. My apologies. Considering it's 9 minutes to 10 right now, it's a little late to worry about it. Jill, very good point. We will need to be more diligent about saving our own seeds with all of these toxins. Yes, learning seed saving this year, guys, is going to be crucial, okay? Because next year, you're not going to know where the seeds came from, what soil they were grown in. I mean, you don't know anyway, but I mean, now with all these chemical spills and things going up, you want stuff that is from your yard. That is it, okay? Sure, there's some things that may be a little harder to get. You don't know how to save seed from carrots or onions or something like that, but you should easily be able to do your tomatoes, your peppers, your seed potatoes, your beans, anything, all those staples, you should pretty much easily be able to save seeds. I've got videos on them, and there's probably hundreds of other videos on how to save seeds. Ed, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Appreciate the comment too. I don't know, great, good information. It's what I got, but thank you for the compliment. Diane Sidney, there's a good idea. This goes back, I'm assuming, going back to the question of doing it in tin cans. I'd suggest lining the can with newspaper, then just pull it out. I think that's probably a really good idea, or even cardboard would be a good idea like that. If you're going to do newspaper, you're going to probably have to do 3 or 4 layers anyway, because you put one, it's going to get wet. It's just going to stick to the side. So you probably have to make it a little thicker. So I'm thinking maybe cardboard might be a better idea. But good tip. See, yeah. Listen to the comments. There's good ideas in there. Mary L says cut the bottom off the can so it'll make it easier. It's still going to be hard to get it to slide out. Now you're just going to have dirt going both directions. Pistol Pete, as long as it's not Pothole Pete. Hi, Pinball, bought 40 pounds and 93% fresh lean ground beef at Country Market, kind of like a Kroger grocery store. Bought a dozen eggs at Walmart for $2.69. Okay, those are better prices. They ain't great, but those, I mean, the eggs should still be down, $1.29 or whatever it is. 10 cents an egg is about enough. So, D-Freak, look up forever chemicals in freshwater fish. There's an interactive map. Most fish are already polluted. Okay. It is what, I mean, I can't reinvent the wheel. I can't reinvent the fish. So I take what I can get. Dolly B, what is my favorite potting soil to use for seeds? I use flower pots to grow tomatoes. I make my own soils. So uh, buying the potting soil at the store is such a colossal waste of money. It's unbelievable. If I mean, I showed how to make the seed starting stuff. I mean, that's like 93% cheaper than the stuff in the store. Uh, you know what you're paying for one bag of seed starting mix, I can make the equivalent of like 30, somewhere thereabouts. But uh, if I for seeds, I can't even give you one because I use seed starting mix for growing. If you're talking about a potting mix, I mean, again, my potting mix, all I'm going to do is take my seed starting mix. I'm going to add some compost to it. And now it's a potting mix. I can't give you an answer for that because everything I have, I make myself. Uh, Going hot. How do I make a hot toddy while going to the world, watching the world go to shit? Uh, put as much whiskey in the glass as you can handle. A little bit of honey, a little bit of lemon, fill it with water, and you're good to go. At least that's the way I'd make them. Gibbsy77, I'm in the active chemical fallout area. How long does it take to get into the well water? Again, it depends on the depth of your well. Okay. It's got to permeate through the soil. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year. I have no idea. It's all going to depend on how much there is and how deep the well is. But just look at those videos that were up the other day. JD Vance sticking a stick in the water, or there was another one of some lady throwing a rock in the water, and you just watched all these rainbow clouds, oil clouds come up. What was that? It looked fine until they disturbed the soil underneath. That's because the chemicals have already gone all the way through the water and are already seeping into the soil. They'll move. The more water that's in the soil, the faster they're going to go down. Uh, L. Kaler, the Catoosa incident has not been reported on local stations here in Oklahoma City. What are they trying to do? Hide it from everybody? Yeah, don't worry about that black smoke over there. It's nothing. Now, that sounds like the Biden administration. It's like, oh, the water is safe to drink. Yet I'm going to be out here in a hazmat suit working on everything. Okay, right there with you. Waldo Prepper, Texas will just say they lost their tanks in a boating accident. There you go. Chicago Heights, a fire in a manufacturing facility. Please, somebody. This is all coincidental. That 25 different things have gone up on fire in the last week. I just listen to this and I go, where's the FBI? I mean, it's just start investigating this stuff. Nostradamus, I lost my weapons in a hot air balloon accident. Yeah, there you go. All my weapons were up over the Yukon territory, and Biden shot them down. What do you expect? It was a science experiment for some $12 balloon. Gene Blair, what do I think of Joe's equity rules going into effect in 30 days? I think they will get shot down by the Supreme Court so fast it won't be funny. They're discriminatory laws, okay? They are completely against the law. And as soon as somebody brings that up, that will make the Supreme Court so fast, because it was like, if you saw the one with Blue Cross Blue Shield, they had something come out where they were putting some sort of program together, and any company was eligible for it unless you had a white CEO, and then you weren't eligible. And they got slammed so fast for racial discrimination that they had to turn tail and change the whole program. The same thing's going to happen with this. Joe may want to have all his equity rules and stuff like that, but you can't enforce them because they're against the law, and it will get taken to court, guaranteed. One more as it's 9:59. Uh, good morning, Venezuela. Inflation is getting so bad that Raisin Bran now has almost 2 scoops. I like that. Carol Davis, how do you grow sweet potatoes in the straw? Is the straw mixed with the soil? No, not at all. And I'll explain this real quick. You take the straw bale as is, okay? Strings stay on the outside, not top and bottom, okay? For about 2 weeks, you're going to condition it. It means you're going to give this thing high doses of nitrogen. What you're trying to do is get the inside of that straw bale to start turning into compost. You plant your sweet potato slips in there. The sweet potatoes will grow inside the straw because it's now turning into compost. It's very high in nitrogen. It's got everything it needs. You will get great sweet potatoes out of it and very easy to harvest because all you got to do is tear apart the straw bale and throw all that straw into your garden, let it decompose the rest away, build your garden soil, and you have clean potatoes coming out of your straw bales. It works. There's no resistance for the potatoes to grow in there. You can grow tomatoes, you can grow potatoes, anything like that in straw bales. All you have to do is know how to condition the soil first. I did a video on it. It's in the gardening playlist. You can go check it out. It's real easy. And on that note, guys, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to bed. Have a good evening, guys. We'll see you in the morning. I may be a little late, but I'll been well out.